logistics is a really additional challenge here up there, because there is no street coming up, otherwise we would not have come the way we came. There's no street, nothing. There is this way we came now, and you can walk and you can fly. So we have to fly up all the materials, and you will hear that in a minute how that works. I will just stop when the helicopter comes and we can watch, and then we continue. So I'm really happy you're all here, and I'm also very happy that we have this sunshine today, because then you can feel also the power of the sun in the mountains. We are here up in 2,500 meters. The sun is really strong. We have very good insulation. Actually, we have here a performance of this PV plant similar to the south of Spain, or the south of Italy. So we have, when we took the folio, we have really, and otherwise, obviously in Switzerland, we have much less performance than in the south of Europe. But because we are so high up here, we have a similar performance like southern Europe. So
the summer?
during the year,
Okay.
yeah. Especially, and that's one of the special features here. I come to that in a second. Is that we have a lot of production in winter time here, and that's super important for us, because in Switzerland we have too much electricity in summer, so we generate a lot with our hydro plants in summer, and we don't use so much, and we have not enough electricity in winter. Therefore, if you're now thinking about the energy transition, we really need to get a lot of solar power in winter, and that's why it makes a lot of sense up there. But before coming to the very plant here, maybe a few words about solar energy. In my view, we are now in a decade of solar energy. You know, at the moment, solar energy around the globe, it's a small part of the electricity generation. Yeah. Okay, we go down here, 20 meters this direction.
About to arrive.
Can hear him already.
La wifi? The mic?
It's mine.
Please come over.
Go down with
Let's watch how they work.
I like the adventures, you know.
Yeah.
I'm totally convinced it's a decade of solar energy. We have at the moment, if you look at the globe, the most, do you know what is most installed power capacity for electricity? So what is the technology most electricity is generated from?
Gas maybe?
It's coal,
Coal.
and then it's gas, and then comes I think hydro, nuclear, wind, PV. And PV is very, very little. But within in this decade, it's not sure whether it takes 6, 7, 10 years. PV will be the installed capacity, the highest installed capacity.
Number one.
Number one. And that's not me saying this, I'm just repeating. This is the International Energy Agency that does this projection. So that and it depends a bit on the scenario, obviously, you take. So they have a scenario they call kind of existing policy. So if no new policies come up, then it will about take 10 years to overtake all the other technologies. If we have a more sustainable scenario where we have additional policies, which I think is likely that people do more to fight against climate change, then it will be faster.
Yeah.
But anyway, in this decade, this will most probably happen. So it's a global trend. It's massive. It's going fast, and this is only a tiny project. So for us in Switzerland, this is a big project. It's 2 megawatt. But on a global scale and the European scale, it's pretty small. And this is also in the business we at Axpo do. Obviously we have roots in Switzerland, so we're very happy to contribute to the transition of the energy system also in Switzerland. That's why we do this lighthouse project here in Switzerland. But our main business when it comes to renewables in wind and in PV is in Europe. Actually, it's at the very moment, it's in France. We build a lot. This year we built 150 times more than this. So we beat 300 megawatt of solar in France. But this will change in, I think in 2 years, our biggest market will most probably be Spain. So we're building up our business also in Spain. So solar Axpo business in Spain and in Italy. That's why I'm very happy we have Italian and Spanish journalists here. And we are actually looking at Portugal. Portugal, we're also looking at a different angle. So we do, I mentioned wind and PV, but within renewables, we also do battery projects and hydrogen projects. So we are looking at a very concrete project for hydrogen in Portugal. And this will be hybrid projects. It will be PV together with hydrogen, with electrolyzers. So this is what we are doing more on the European level. So if you're interested, obviously we can chat on this during lunch. Yeah. But you came here for this this project here, and especially in winter. So I mentioned we have a lot of winter production. We have about 50% more production overall, and than compared to downtown Switzerland or in the Midlands in Switzerland. And we have a very good fraction in winter, and this has 3 reasons. Reason number 1 is that we have a lot of snow here. So you see, this is already new snow. It came probably last weekend, I guess. And I guess it was white here, so it's already gone. But soon, within a few weeks, we will have a snow cover that stays all winter, and it stays until May, June, something like that. So we have many months with snow, and snow, as you know, reflects the sun. So we will have not only the sun coming directly to the panels, but we will also have the reflected sun that is reflected from the snow going to the panel. This is one reason. The other reason is we are very high up, 2,500 meters, so it's pretty cold. Now we don't feel it so much. It's nice and warm, but you can imagine over the year this is always colder here than down, and that's physics. That solar panels, solar cells, they're more efficient if they are colder. So we have just more efficient solar panels because it's colder. That's not reason. And the third reason is that in Switzerland we often have foggy days, especially in winter. If you have been in the cities like Zurich or so, it's often foggy in winter. But when it's foggy down in Zurich, often here there's no fog. They are on above the fog, and it's nice and sunny. And that's the third reason why we produce much more than down in the mainland. Maybe some technical things before we go and look at them. What is special here is that it's on a dam, and it has some technical challenges. I come to that in a second. But first of all, I want also to show you kind of this. For us, it's also it's a lighthouse project, as mentioned. It's the first big project on a dam, I think here in Switzerland and in Europe. And it's also a symbol for that energy transition in Switzerland. In the future, Switzerland's electricity system will run to a large extent on hydro and on PV. Today it's not. Today PV is only 5%, fraction very small. Hydro is already big. It's about half of it. But that will change over the next years and decades. That we will build up a lot of solar power in Switzerland, and then the system will be hydro and PV to a large extent. And here you see both together. You see, you have visited the pump storage plant, and this is the upper reservoir. So you see the hydro part, and then on top you see the PV part. And it's a nice combination, and we are lucky here in Switzerland. We have this combination that we have so much hydro that can be stored, that can be regulated, and then we have PV, which can't be stored directly and regulated. Just when the sun shines, we have the generation, and so we can combine these two technologies very, very nicely. And there we have an advantage compared to other countries where you don't have so much hydro. Yeah. There, obviously, you need to build batteries and other things. But here we kind of lucky. So the challenge is obviously apart from the logistics, as mentioned, is that we are building on a dam. And the dam, there is a regulation from the Swiss dam regulator that it says, okay, because this dam is there and there's a lot of water behind, we always have to be able to inspect how the dam, the situation of the dam. Also, there is regular checks. When there would be an earthquake, somebody needs to rush and see where there are cracks on the, in the dam and so on. And that's why we are not allowed to bolt the solar panels directly to the dam. Actually, it would be ideal because it's a very nice surface, very well done, and it's a good inclination. But as I mentioned, for that you can inspect it all the time, we are not allowed to put it there. Therefore, we had to put a steel construction, which is 1.5 meters above the dam, and there we put the solar panels. And in the end, you will also be able to walk through between the dam and the PV panels.
And sorry, which kind of technology did you choose?
The panels, thanks for the question, is bifacial. So we have, it's quite a new module, and you can use the sunlight from both sides with bifacial. So most obviously comes from the top, from this side, from the south side. But because we are not directly on the wall, because there is this gap, 1.5 meters, there's also light on the other side, and we can also use this. But this makes maybe 10% plus or something, and not too much. You see the location is pretty good because we have, this is south here, so the dam is really facing south. It has no big mountains that make shade on the panels. This is often in other valleys in Switzerland or other places where we have dams. This is a challenge because there is you have high mountains, or you have deep valleys, and then especially in winter there's a lot of shade on the panels. But here it's great.